Social bonds are not merely psychological constructs. They are deeply rooted in our biology and are essential for both mental and physical health. The brain and body have evolved to respond to social connection with precise neurochemical and neural mechanisms that reinforce attachment, cooperation, and emotional support. Oxytocin, often referred to as the bonding hormone, is a critical player in this process. It is released during physical touch, eye contact, shared positive experiences, and supportive interactions, enhancing feelings of trust, empathy, and closeness. Oxytocin modulates activity in the amygdala, reducing fear and anxiety in social situations, while simultaneously promoting reward signaling in the brain, which encourages further pro-social behavior. This neurochemical reinforcement forms a feedback loop. Positive social interactions trigger oxytocin release, which strengthens emotional bonds, making future connection more rewarding and likely. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with reward and motivation, also plays a central role in social bonding. Engaging in meaningful interactions with family, friends, or romantic partners activates dopaminergic pathways in regions such as the ventral tegmental area and nucleus accumbens. These circuits encode the pleasurable aspects of social engagement, reinforcing behaviors that maintain and deepen relationships. The anticipation of positive interactions can motivate individuals to invest time and energy in nurturing connections, creating a cycle of social reinforcement. Serotonin contributes as well, supporting mood stability, emotional regulation, and a sense of social belonging. High serotonin activity is associated with feelings of contentment and security within social networks, whereas low serotonin levels can correlate with social anxiety or withdrawal. The brain's mirror neuron system is another component that facilitates connection. Mirror neurons fire both when an individual performs an action and when they observe another performing the same action. This mechanism underlies empathy, emotional resonance, and the ability to anticipate the intentions of others. Through this system, humans can experience and respond to the emotional states of others, deepening understanding and fostering attachment. Emotional attunement, facilitated by mirror neuron activity, is a key driver of social bonding because it enables coordinated communication, trust, and mutual support. Hormonal interactions extend beyond the brain. Cortisol, the stress hormone, interacts with oxytocin and dopamine to modulate social behavior. In safe, supportive relationships, oxytocin dampens cortisol responses, reducing anxiety and enhancing feelings of security. Conversely, social isolation or conflict can elevate cortisol, impairing reward signaling and reducing the motivation to connect. This dynamic illustrates that social bonding is a biologically integrated system where neurochemistry, neural circuitry, and endocrine function work together to regulate behavior, emotions, and long-term well-being. The quality and consistency of social interactions directly influence these biological systems. Regular positive interactions, physical closeness, verbal affirmation, and shared experiences increase oxytocin and dopamine signaling, strengthen neural circuits associated with attachment, and support serotonin-mediated emotional stability. Conversely, neglect, conflict, or social isolation can dysregulate these systems, increasing stress, anxiety, and vulnerability to mental and physical health challenges. Understanding the neurobiology of social bonding emphasizes that connection is not optional, but a fundamental human need that shapes behavior, emotional health, and physiological resilience. By recognizing the biological foundations of social bonds, individuals can intentionally foster interactions that optimize neurochemical signaling, strengthen attachment circuits, and enhance emotional and physiological health. Consistent engagement in meaningful relationships, guided by awareness of these mechanisms, amplifies trust, empathy, and reward, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of connection that supports long-term well-being. Family relationships form the first and often most influential framework for social bonding, shaping neural development, emotional regulation, and long-term patterns of attachment. Early interactions with caregivers establish foundational circuits in the limbic system and prefrontal cortex, which govern stress responses, empathy, and the capacity for trust. When caregivers respond consistently and sensitively to a child's needs, the brain learns to associate social interactions with safety and reward, strengthening neural pathways that support secure attachment. Secure attachment is linked to healthier regulation of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, resulting in more adaptive responses to stress, lower baseline cortisol levels, and enhanced resilience. Children who experience these early positive interactions are more likely to develop strong social skills, emotional intelligence, and the ability to form stable, supportive relationships in adulthood. Conversely, inconsistent, neglectful, or overly critical caregiving can create insecure or disorganized attachment patterns. These early experiences may lead to heightened stress reactivity, difficulty trusting others, and challenges with emotional regulation. Neurobiologically, this can manifest as hyperactive amygdala responses, reduced prefrontal control over emotional impulses, and alterations in oxytocin signaling. Such changes influence how individuals perceive social cues, process emotional information, and engage in relationships later in life. Recognizing the impact of early family dynamics provides insight into adult behavior, including tendencies toward avoidance, anxiety, or difficulty maintaining long-term partnerships. The ongoing quality of family interactions throughout life continues to shape relational patterns and emotional health. Open communication, emotional support, shared activities, and collaborative problem-solving reinforce attachment circuits and promote trust. Positive family experiences release oxytocin, strengthening neural pathways associated with bonding and safety. These interactions are particularly powerful because they occur repeatedly over time, providing consistent reinforcement of secure attachment and emotional attunement. Family members also serve as models for social behavior, demonstrating conflict resolution, empathy, and cooperation, which further influence neural development and social competence. Family relationships can buffer stress and promote resilience. Emotional support from family members reduces cortisol responses to challenges, mitigates the impact of adverse experiences, and enhances overall well-being. The protective effects of supportive family bonds are observable in both mental and physical health outcomes, including lower rates of depression, anxiety, and cardiovascular disease. This buffering effect is mediated by both neurochemical systems, such as oxytocin and dopamine, and neural circuitry that enhances emotion regulation and reward sensitivity. Strong family bonds also foster a sense of belonging, purpose, and identity, which further reinforces positive health outcomes and motivates prosocial behavior. Intentional cultivation of family relationships enhances these neural and hormonal systems. Prioritizing quality time, practicing active listening, expressing appreciation, and maintaining consistent emotional support strengthen attachment pathways and build lasting trust. Conflict, when it arises, provides opportunities for growth if managed constructively, reinforcing problem-solving skills and emotional regulation. Understanding the neurobiology of family bonding allows individuals to approach relationships with awareness of how early and ongoing interactions shape stress resilience, empathy, and social competence. By nurturing family connections with intentionality and care, individuals can reinforce neural circuits for trust, attachment, and emotional regulation, creating a secure foundation for lifelong social bonding. These bonds support mental and physical health, enhance emotional intelligence, and provide a stable framework that influences the quality of all future relationships. Friendships are a vital domain of human social bonding, offering emotional support, shared experiences, and opportunities for personal growth. Unlike family relationships, which are often determined by circumstance, friendships are typically chosen and maintained through mutual effort, trust, and reciprocity. These voluntary connections engage both reward and social cognition circuits in the brain, reinforcing prosocial behaviors and emotional attunement. When individuals interact with close friends, neurochemicals such as oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin are released, promoting trust, pleasure, and a sense of belonging. Oxytocin reduces anxiety and fear in social contexts, while dopamine reinforces the rewarding nature of these interactions, motivating continued engagement. Serotonin contributes to mood stability, emotional regulation, and the experience of social contentment, making friendships a cornerstone of psychological well-being. Friendships also provide measurable physiological benefits. Interacting with supportive friends lowers cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, and reduces sympathetic nervous system activation. These effects help protect against the damaging impacts of chronic stress, including hypertension, impaired immune function, and metabolic dysregulation. Studies have shown that individuals with strong social networks experience lower rates of depression, anxiety, and cardiovascular disease. The combination of emotional support, shared positive experiences, and mutual problem-solving fosters resilience, enabling individuals to navigate life's challenges more effectively.
Friendships act as a buffer against stress, offering both psychological comfort and physiological regulation that enhance overall health.
Social cognition plays a central role in friendship development. Neural circuits involved in empathy, perspective-taking, and emotional recognition are engaged during meaningful interactions. Mirror neurons allow individuals to resonate with a friend's emotional state, facilitating understanding and connection. This emotional attunement strengthens trust, improves communication, and fosters cooperative behavior, all of which are essential for maintaining long-term friendships. Shared experiences, whether through play, collaboration, or conversation, reinforce reward circuits and deepen the sense of relational satisfaction. The anticipation of enjoyable social interactions also motivates individuals to invest time and effort into nurturing these bonds, creating a positive feedback loop that sustains the friendship over time. The quality of friendships is critical. Consistent, positive engagement that includes active listening, verbal affirmation, and mutual support strengthens neurochemical signaling and reinforces attachment pathways. Acts of kindness, gratitude, and shared problem-solving enhance dopamine and serotonin activity, further motivating prosocial behavior and reinforcing the relational bond. Conversely, conflict, neglect, or betrayal can disrupt these systems, increasing stress, reducing trust, and impairing social motivation. Constructive management of disagreements, open communication, and reconciliation are essential to preserving friendship quality and maintaining long-term benefits for mental and physical health. Friendships also provide a unique platform for personal development. They encourage exploration of new perspectives, support identity formation, and cultivate emotional intelligence. Interactions with friends challenge individuals to navigate social nuances, regulate emotions, and respond empathetically, all of which strengthen neural circuits that underpin social competence and relational satisfaction. The combination of reward, trust, and emotional attunement ensures that friendships are both psychologically fulfilling and biologically reinforcing. By actively investing in friendships through consistent engagement, mutual support, and shared experiences, individuals can reinforce neural pathways associated with trust, empathy, and reward. These connections not only enhance emotional well-being, but also provide tangible physiological benefits, reduce stress, and promote resilience, creating a foundation for long-lasting social health. Romantic partnerships are among the most complex and biologically reinforced forms of social bonding, engaging neural circuits and hormonal systems that influence attachment, intimacy, and long-term relational stability. The initial stages of attraction activate dopamine pathways in the brain's reward centers, including the ventral tegmental area and nucleus accumbens, creating feelings of excitement, motivation, and pleasure when interacting with a partner. These early reward signals encourage repeated engagement and investment in the relationship, laying the groundwork for deeper emotional bonds. Oxytocin and vasopressin, neuropeptides often referred to as bonding hormones, play a central role in consolidating long-term attachment. Oxytocin is released during physical touch, sexual intimacy, eye contact, and shared emotional experiences, enhancing trust, emotional attunement, and feelings of security. Vasopressin supports partner-specific bonding and contributes to monogamous attachment behaviors observed in humans and other mammals. Physical touch and sexual intimacy are key behavioral mechanisms that reinforce these neurochemical systems. Hugging, holding hands, and sexual activity all trigger oxytocin release, which reduces stress responses, lowers cortisol, and increases feelings of connection. These interactions not only strengthen emotional closeness but also influence physiological health, including improved cardiovascular function, enhanced immune response, and reduced sympathetic nervous system activation. Shared positive experiences, such as collaborative problem-solving, mutual achievements, or recreational activities, activate dopamine circuits, reinforcing the pleasure associated with being together and motivating ongoing investment in the partnership. Emotional attunement is another critical component of romantic bonding. Being able to recognize and respond appropriately to a partner's emotional state strengthens neural pathways for empathy, perspective-taking, and communication. Mirror neuron systems contribute to this attunement, allowing individuals to resonate with their partner's feelings and anticipate their needs. Consistent emotional responsiveness builds trust and deepens attachment, while neglect or misattunement can weaken these circuits, increasing relational tension and emotional distance. Effective communication, active listening, and validation of emotions
are behavioral strategies that reinforce these neural mechanisms and support long-term relational satisfaction.
Conflict management is also central to maintaining strong romantic bonds. Disagreements are natural in close relationships, but the manner in which they are handled influences attachment and neurochemical signaling. Constructive approaches that involve calm discussion, mutual understanding, and compromise prevent prolonged stress responses and maintain trust. Conversely, hostile or avoidant patterns can elevate cortisol, impair oxytocin signaling, and weaken attachment circuits, increasing the likelihood of relational deterioration. Couples who cultivate problem-solving skills, emotional regulation, and forgiveness reinforce neural pathways that support resilience and long-term connection. Romantic relationships also have profound effects on overall well-being. Long-term partnerships characterized by trust, intimacy, and shared purpose are associated with reduced stress, improved mental health, enhanced life satisfaction, and even greater longevity. The integration of neurochemical reinforcement, behavioral engagement, and emotional attunement demonstrates that romantic bonds are both biologically and psychologically powerful. By understanding the neural and hormonal mechanisms underlying romantic partnerships, individuals can intentionally nurture intimacy, trust, and attachment. Consistent emotional responsiveness, shared positive experiences, physical closeness, and constructive conflict resolution reinforce the biological systems that sustain long-term connection. Supporting both consistent positive interactions are the cornerstone of building and maintaining strong social relationships, whether with family, friends, or romantic partners. Human brains are wired to respond to repeated social engagement, with neural circuits and hormonal systems reinforcing behaviors that promote trust, cooperation, and emotional closeness. Oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin play central roles in this process, each contributing to bonding, reward, and emotional stability. Regular verbal affirmation, active listening, and supportive communication stimulate oxytocin release, which strengthens attachment and reduces fear or anxiety in social interactions. Dopamine reinforces the pleasurable aspects of these interactions, motivating individuals to seek repeated engagement, while serotonin contributes to emotional regulation and a sense of social security, enhancing overall satisfaction within relationships. Verbal affirmation is a powerful tool for reinforcing bonds. Expressing appreciation, gratitude, and recognition signals to the brain that social interactions are safe, rewarding, and meaningful. These behaviors not only increase oxytocin and dopamine activity, but also enhance emotional attunement between individuals, creating a feedback loop that strengthens trust and closeness. Active listening further deepens connection by signaling empathy and understanding, activating mirror neuron systems that allow one person to resonate with another's emotional state. This neurological resonance is foundational to cooperation, trust, and long-term relationship stability as it reinforces the perception of mutual care and emotional safety. Physical presence and touch are equally important in sustaining strong bonds. Shared experiences, whether through simple proximity, hand-holding, hugs, or other forms of appropriate physical contact, enhance oxytocin signaling and contribute to relational satisfaction. These interactions also reduce stress responses, lower cortisol levels, and increase parasympathetic activity, which promotes relaxation and emotional connection. In romantic partnerships, physical intimacy and sexual touch further engage reward circuits, reinforcing attachment and encouraging continued investment in the relationship. Gratitude and pro-social behavior act as additional mechanisms to maintain consistent positive interactions. Expressing appreciation or performing supportive acts for others activates dopamine pathways, reinforcing the rewarding nature of giving and receiving support. Over time, these behaviors strengthen relational bonds and promote reciprocity, which is essential for long-term social cohesion. Constructive conflict resolution is also a critical component of maintaining these interactions. Disagreements are natural in close relationships, but approaching conflict with calm communication, problem-solving, and mutual respect preserves trust and prevents the erosion of attachment circuits. Hostility or avoidance, on the other hand, can elevate cortisol, impair oxytocin signaling, and undermine relationship stability. Consistency is the defining factor in these interactions. Occasional positive behavior may provide short-term satisfaction, but sustained, predictable, and reliable engagement strengthens neural circuits for trust, attachment, and reward, creating a resilient foundation for social bonds. This is true across all types of relationships, from family and friendships to romantic partnerships. Repeated reinforcement of these behaviors ensures that the biological system's underlying connection remain active, adaptive, and resilient. By integrating consistent positive interactions through affirmation, active listening, physical closeness, gratitude, and constructive problem-solving, individuals can reinforce the neurochemical and neural mechanisms that sustain attachment, trust, and relational satisfaction. These practices not only strengthen relationships but also enhance mental, emotional, and physical well-being, providing a durable framework for social resilience and long-term connection, relational satisfaction, and overall health. Intentional social practices are essential for cultivating strong, lasting relationships, and they operate through both behavioral strategies and biological mechanisms. Understanding how human neurobiology responds to social engagement allows individuals to approach relationships with purpose, reinforcing attachment, trust, and emotional connection. By acting deliberately to maintain and deepen connections with family, friends, and romantic partners, people can strengthen neural circuits associated with reward, empathy, and social cognition. Engaging consistently in behaviors that promote closeness, such as active listening, expressing appreciation, participating in shared activities, and providing emotional support, activates oxytocin pathways, reduces stress responses, and enhances dopamine-mediated reward signaling. This creates a feedback loop in which positive social experiences motivate continued investment in relationships, reinforcing both emotional bonds and long-term relational satisfaction. Practices that enhance empathy and emotional attunement are particularly important in fostering resilience within relationships. Empathy involves recognizing and responding to the emotional states of others, which engages mirror neuron systems and strengthens neural pathways for social understanding. Active listening, validation, and perspective-taking allow individuals to resonate with the experiences of their partners or friends, deepening trust and promoting mutual support. These behaviors not only reinforce attachment, but also reduce conflict escalation, as each person feels understood and valued. Over time, consistent empathy-driven interactions enhance relationship quality, strengthen emotional bonds, and contribute to the stability of social networks. Shared positive experiences are another key element of intentional social practices. Participating in joint activities, pursuing common goals, or simply spending quality time together strengthens dopamine circuits, enhancing the sense of reward associated with the relationship. These experiences build shared memories, reinforce trust, and create a sense of mutual investment that motivates continued engagement. Physical touch, when appropriate, further amplifies these effects by stimulating oxytocin release and promoting feelings of safety, security, and closeness. Couples, friends, and family members who prioritize shared activities and meaningful interactions consistently report higher satisfaction and stronger relational resilience. Conflict management is also a central aspect of intentional relational practices. Relationships inevitably involve disagreements, but constructive approaches, such as calm communication, problem-solving, compromise, and forgiveness, preserve attachment and trust. Poorly managed conflict can elevate cortisol, reduce oxytocin signaling, and erode emotional connection, whereas consistent use of healthy conflict resolution strategies reinforces neural circuits for emotional regulation, trust, and cooperative behavior. Over time, these strategies strengthen the biological and psychological foundations of social bonds, increasing relational resilience. Environmental and lifestyle factors further support intentional social practices, minimizing stress, maintaining consistent sleep patterns, and fostering overall mental and physical well-being enhance the body's capacity to respond positively to social interaction. Reducing distractions, dedicating time for meaningful engagement, and prioritizing relationship quality over quantity also amplify the impact of intentional social behaviors. By integrating these strategies, individuals can create predictable, reliable environments that reinforce attachment and satisfaction within their social networks. By deliberately cultivating empathy, shared experiences, emotional support, and constructive conflict management, individuals can strengthen the neural and hormonal systems that underlie social connection. Intentional social practices not only enhance the quality and stability of relationships, but also promote resilience, mental well-being, and overall life satisfaction. These consistent, purposeful behaviors create self-reinforcing cycles of trust, attachment, and reward, providing a durable foundation for long-term relational health. By consistently practicing intentional social behaviors, individuals create a stable foundation for meaningful and lasting relationships. Over time, these deliberate actions strengthen neural circuits for trust, empathy, and reward, making connections more resilient to stress, conflict, and life changes. Prioritizing empathy, shared experiences, emotional support, and constructive communication fosters deeper bonds with family, friends, and romantic partners. This not only enhances relational satisfaction, but also promotes mental, emotional, and physical well-being, allowing individuals to thrive socially and biologically. By approaching relationships with awareness and purpose, it becomes possible to cultivate a network of strong, supportive connections that enrich life and sustain long-term social and emotional health.